Hi everyone, Professor Hosmer here. Had a couple questions on regarding how to parse the output that comes back from virus total. And let me kind of give you a demonstration of that. Let me get this out of my way. I'm going to start my script over again. This is the solution script. Obviously, I'm not going to show you all of the solution script, just this piece where you have to parse the results from the virus total. So this is, again, getting the virus total API, getting the response, and printing the response. When you print out that response, remember, all that is just a dictionary, but it's kind of a fancy dictionary because it's basically a dictionary that is nested. So it's a dictionary within a dictionary within a dictionary. So basically you got a key, which is the name of the dictionary, and then the value is another dictionary, and then the value is another dictionary. So you have to kind of walk through that if you want to pull the individual values out. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that response, which you can see here is just a dictionary. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the results, because that's the first level dictionary. So if I hit F6 and now I print results, and now I basically have a dictionary that starts with scans. So these are all the scans that were done by the different organizations that performed the scans. Well, that's still not exactly where I want to be, so now I'm going to actually use those results to basically get the dictionary that contains the scans. And now I can print out scans. So now you see the first value here is another dictionary, and that dictionary is the name of the organization that produced this particular scan, and that's the organization name. And then the findings are individual, is a dictionary here that includes a set of another dictionary that is basically a set of fields: detected, version, result, update, etc. So what I'm doing here is, now that I've got the scans dictionary, I can iterate through that scans dictionary one at a time. And I'm going to get back, remember, organization, and then I'm going to get back this other organizational dictionary that basically contains the value, which is another dictionary that contains basically the findings. So I can print out that organization, and obviously the organization, just to see here, is BKAV. Okay, so that's cool. But now I want to basically go through the findings, which is again another dictionary. But in this case, what I'm interested in is the fields, which is the real data that came back from BKAV, right, in this particular example, where now I can basically say for field, that's going to be, in this case, detected, and the value is the value that we found that's associated with BKAV. So now I'm going to iterate through all of the findings that were produced by BKAV. In this case, detected was false, version was 1.3.0.9899, whatever that means. It's going to say result were none, and then basically it was last updated on that date. And now we're going to go back and get the next organization that was part of the scans. So remember, the scans contained multiple organizations. So the next one was Lionic. So now we're going to basically walk through the results from Lionic. And when we do that, let me come back to the beginning here. We're seeing the results from Lionic, and we can look at each one of these individual fields. So in other words, if you wanted to do something here after you've got a field and a value, you could make other decisions here if you wanted to. So I just wanted to kind of show you how to actually parse, if you will, the virus total response output, and basically step through that hierarchy of dictionaries that are part of the response. I had a couple questions about this, and people wanted to get down to the actual data within that instead of just dumping it out, which is perfectly fine, and see what was produced. So hopefully that helps and gives you kind of a clue on how you have to do this. So sometimes when you're getting data structures that are complex like this, you have to kind of step into them and get the results. In other words, walk through that hierarchy of the dictionaries. Now, of course, there's fancy code that you can find on Stack Overflow and whatever that will just do this. But I wanted to do it discreetly for you because in many cases you have to do this. So for example, if I have this kind of results, and let's say, for instance, each organization had results that were different, in other words, had different fields within the results, this will actually produce that for you. So hopefully that helps and clears up how to actually parse the response that comes from VirusTotal. And remember, that response is just a dictionary, but that dictionary is hierarchical, it has multiple dictionaries within the response.